What's going on, guys? Happy Tuesday.
What's up, peeps? Flight
How's it going?
Club in the house. How you guys doing?
So, as a FYI, I'm in the shop. Internet's a little spotty. So, if anything happens, just stay with us because the shop is out in the sticks. But, as every topic is going to be for this week, it's going to be Draco. I swear up and down, everybody's going to be talking about Draco.
Who? What?
What the hell's a Draco?
What did you got?
What's a Draco?
What did you get?
I know.
Man, what is that?
Gotta get my.
Is that a new airplane that's come out? Dang.
No, this is my first one.
So,
I will say this, just start off the bat. People have been saying that this flies like a high wing. To a degree, yeah, but it's just it flies different at the same time. You have elevator or aileron to elevator or aileron to rudder mix into it, and in some of the videos you'll actually see the plane, the tail is like dragging down as it's in the turn. Kind of like if you have an A10 or the B-24, since there's twin tails, you got to give it a little bit more rudder to bring that tail up a little bit. So coordinate that. You can mix it in a little bit more. That's kind of what I've been playing around with. And if you've got the first edition or the first shipment, go by the manual that's on Horizon's site, because the manual that comes with it has some typos in it. Mainly what I noticed was some of the screw call outs, like for the landing gear, the four that hold the actual landing gear to the fuse, but then also to the flaps, the throw for the flaps. And you kind of would pick up on that if you do measure your throws. I think originally in the book it called for negative 100, negative 20, and then 9. And now I think it's negative 12 and now 15. And then, of course, with that, when you have more flaps, you've got more elevator to compensate for that. Yeah. But all in all, it's a bad bitch. I loved it so much that I flew it on Friday, and I went and bought me another one. I cannot see, for some reason, I cannot see the, there we go, pop-out chat. But yeah, George Watch, it's already mixed in there. Because if you didn't have that mix in there, you're gonna have to throw a good bit of rudder in there to keep that tail up. I mean, it's just the way it is with these wing designs. But again, this does not fly like a Cub. You can get it to fly like a Cub, but all in all, it doesn't fly like a Cub. Like when you really want to get into it. I've been flying on Admiral 6000s. They have worked great for me. We had a good headwind, about a 15-mile-an-hour headwind that was choppy. It was either 15 or none, so that was fun for landing. The reverse, that takes some getting used to, but it's a crowd pleaser. Like my dad was like here, he's like, "What the hell is that?" Not that he's country or anything. I was like, he's like, "Did you put that thing in reverse?" He's like, "Cause I felt it blow toward me." I'm like, "Yeah, it's reverse." He's like, "Hot damn."
Mm-hmm.
So
yeah,
that's
Well, I'll tell you, the scale, the detail and the scale on it is awesome. Which they did, 3D scans of the plane anyway, for 3 days.
Mm-hmm.
But yeah, Jason Merkel was talking about it today with Mary Boozer Wesley on a live podcast they were doing earlier and talking about different things about it and things like that. But yeah, like I said, the scaleness and the design and everything of it looks really, really nice. Very, very nice quality. And of course, E-flite, again, just like this jet right here, the SU. E-flite does a great job on their planes, man. I mean, they're really
Mm-hmm.
nice. They're put together very nicely.
I mean,
So yeah,
it was something
definitely sweet looking, man.
like I was telling Jeff. Typically, like for the hinges, it's just like a plastic kind of like snap in. Like there's two pieces that snap in. Um, these actually have small screws that go through the hinge into the aileron or the flap and into a nut. I haven't seen that before. Somebody commented like saying it was on the timber as well. I haven't got the timber because I don't got the step ladder, but I honestly can't remember or not. Oh, there's a dead gnat. Um, but this is a cool plane. I mean, yeah, it has a lot of hype to it. Yeah, it's fun. Yeah, it's different. It can take a beating for a landing. That's for damn sure. I realize like how much I haven't flown because that first landing was pretty hard. Didn't break anything because the way the trees are here, you have to chop the throttle, come down at a kind of a steep angle, and then make a flat-ish turn. Well, that prop is so big that when you chop the throttle like that, it's just so much drag. So you need to keep the air going. Excuse me, generating air over the wings, so it still gives you some lift. Um, but doesn't have any bad tendencies that I could. And I was flying it today when I got off work. Flew it. Ran 2 batteries through it. No bad tendencies at all. You can hang it from the prop. If the wind's about 5 to 7, full flaps going into the wind, you'll sit there and hover it. I mean, it's just a cool bird. Sure, it's a lot of money.
So now, did you have to set your rates, or did you go by what it came with? I mean, did you go in and set dual rates, or what did you do?
With every bird that I maiden, I always do with the E-flite. I do 100, 85, 80, and then 70.
Okay.
Took off at 100, threw it in mid rates, didn't like it, stayed in 100% rates. That's what I stayed into, and
Okay.
flying with about 15% expo for elevator and ailerons. And since the rudder's so big, I bumped it up to 20, just kind of tame it down a little bit. But after flying it for a little bit, I'll probably just go back and keep everything expo wise at 15, which for my prop birds and warbirds, that's pretty much where I hover at, just to kind of soften that center up a little bit.
What's up, Dave's RC? How you doing, man? Good to have you in here tonight. Got a lot of regulars coming in tonight. Mr. Dennis Farley, Michael Reiska, George Watts, Jackson RC Aviation. How you doing, buddy? Roach Coach Healy's Craig Beaven. Again, Dave's RC. Appreciate all you guys coming by here tonight. Like I said, I know a lot of you guys are getting your Dracos, and Dustin's been waiting on his, and been talking to him about it. And I figured it'd be good, especially being that he's flown it and put it together. So if you guys have any questions, please try to put them in here, and Dustin can answer them. I can't say I can because I don't have one, didn't get one. So I'm like, Michael Reiska said, I appreciate the beauty, the quality, the scale, the everything of the plane. There's no doubt we are moving in a direction with these RC planes that is incredible. It's just not my cup of tea, but I can appreciate it. So I think it's an awesome, beautiful airplane by no doubt. So yeah, if you guys have got any questions about what Dustin had to do as far as putting it together, set up, or anything like that, please chime in and ask, because I know a lot of you guys are getting them in. You're still getting them delivered and things like that. So yeah, definitely.
When putting it together, the only thing I would do different is the tail wheel, secure the tail wheel to the fuse, and then put in your 2 springs, and then connect your shock. Because when you connect the tail wheel via the shock and its mount, because there's 2 points so it can pivot, it's kind of a pain in the butt. Because you got to use needle nose pliers and twist the spring and kind of get it. You just got to twist a lot to get it to go into the control horns. That's really only the tidbit of it. The elevator, like some of my Cubs, it wants the elevator to be somewhat up. This one, don't do that. Just let it be completely symmetrical. As it's sitting here now, it's symmetrical. Even, I mean. Trying to think what else. I want to put a few more flights on it, and then I want to fly it at night. I really want to fly this damn thing at night.
I'll tell you something Mary Boozer had on his channel about the tail wheel, in case you didn't see the video as of yet. He was talking about the tail wheel getting loose after so many flights. And you kind of have to disassemble it and tighten the nut on top of the tail wheel where it pivots, and it'll take all the slop and everything. He was getting a lot of slop in his, and he said it was about to fall off. So that's one note to you guys. Definitely keep a check on where the tail wheel screws into the actual, I guess, what do you call it, the assembly, and make sure you don't lose any parts of the thing.
So for that, just because I just did it on this last flight, because as I was walking behind it, tacking it back, I noticed that wheel, it wants to, as it's moving towards you, it wants to move this way, and just unhook the shock, and that will allow it to tilt down just enough where you can get a small screwdriver and just take that screw and turn about half a turn. I mean, you can feel it as you take the play out. The biggest thing is to make sure, because you got so many joints in the landing gear, do not over tighten them. Tighten a little bit. So what I do is I'll tighten it to where you can feel it have a little bit of drag, and then just take it and just turn it about a quarter of a turn just to free it up, and you're good to go as far as that goes. The main landing gears, that is a work of art in my opinion. There's so much carbon fiber, so much metal and plastic. It's pretty damn cool.
Yeah, they really do look nice. They did a great job on those for sure. And that's why I say the scaleness of this airplane, even down to the decals, is a super nice looking plane, and that only shows where this hobby's going, guys. And it's incredible. So yeah, get on board and ride the wave right now, because it's going to get better and better. Mr. Dave's RC said his giveaway is this week, Friday the 30th. Only on Dave's RC, home of the giveaways, guys. I think I threw that at him when he was starting doing this a long time ago. But yeah, he's got $400 to be given away. So maybe I'll win. It's time for me to win again. But no, Dave's awesome, guys. He gives away a lot on his channel. I've won an F-14. I've won an F-15. A couple of T-shirts Dave sent me. So yeah, what's the motto? Dave, where you at, buddy? Hey, check it out, man. Look at this. Look here. That's you, baby. All day long, man. That's right. Dave's RC, guys. So definitely check him out Friday night, man. You could be a winner, but you got to be in it to win it, So got to be present.
There's only one thing that I don't see an issue with. It was, I just didn't like how it felt. And so you've got, these are to hold your wings on. If you notice here, you have these 2 small dimples that are 180 degrees out from each other. There's one here, and one here, one at 12 and one at 6 o'clock. And on the rear of the wing, you put them in there, and you can feel them really lock up nice and tight. The front on the right wing, was kind of loose. It wasn't going to come out, but I didn't like that type of like loose feeling. So what I did is I took some painter's tape, and there's many different ways you can do this, and I just put just a single layer of painter's tape all the way around here. Put it in there, tested it, and then put another layer around as well, and that really took the slop out and made it tighter. Now, some of these, when you twist them to try to pull them out, there's not a lot of meat here to pull them out. So a trick that I found out that you can do is, I gotta get my zippy ties. Well, oh, here we go. Is if you take a zip tie, fold it in half, you can actually, this is a little bit too big. Yeah, it's a little bit too big. I'm not going to do it with this one. I got some smaller ones at the house. But you take a zip tie, close it up, cut this part off, and you put it through the hole. Hopefully you guys can see that. That hole right there. So what happens is this sticks out. So now you have something where you can, when you unhook it, you can pull it out. They're in the trash. And as you work these, they do get easier to take in and out. I'm not worried about them. I'm not worried about them coming out or anything like that. I know some people have been wanting to see the because on my first flight I did not have the the battery secure enough, and it shifted on me. But luckily, nothing bad happened. Let me get you guys out of here. So you can see how you can technically take, and you see you got that ridge. Let me kill my light here. You can see the ridge right there. So you can put your 4000s way back there. But what's even cool is you can see the carbon fiber, and then you can see like the mounts, like that plastic piece right there. That's the mounts for the landing gear. Like this thing is just beefy as hell. Monstrous motor. And as I think Jason may have said, or somebody did, that as the motor turns, you hear like a frequency to it. That's just because it's got a braking feature on it. I'm sure you can take it off if you want. The biggest debate that I've seen so far is people, does Horizon Hobby go toward the cockpit or away? Because some people have got them actually flip-flopped around. So I've seen that on Facebook. That was pretty funny. And then these guys are brass, but you can see how that's hardware, and it's through all of these. So it's pretty damn cool. I can't see if anybody's asking any questions, Jeff.
Yeah, I'm looking at everything here. How about the back window? I know it's magnetized. Do you see a problem with that as far as possibly flying out or the wind blowing it out or anything like that?
You got two rare earth magnets. So this guy right here is your LED board. My backlight right here did not work, and it was just because it was plugged in wrong. It was just plugged in 180 degree out. I just unplug it, turned it, plugged it back in, and it worked. The LED lights have letters on them, A, B, C, D, E, F, G. On the actual board here, you really can't. The camera may not pick it up, but there's letters, corresponding letters, to it, and yeah, I mean it's a nice little package in here.
Bobby said he wants to put a 2-blade prop on his, man. What do you think?
That's what Chris Wolf did because he broke his. He put a 16 by
What's up, Raymond?
10, I believe, out there. But this is what I was saying about the springs. Put this screw in right here first. Don't hook up your shot. Your shot will be disconnected, will be connected here, but not up here. And that way you can move this to get this the springs hooked up to the horn. If you're wondering, these two pieces here, if you have the two hard pieces, go right underneath the elevator. Then kind of a close up to the actual landing gear. Like, look at all these joints. That's what's so cool to me.
It is. Like I said, the scaleness of it is awesome. Hey, Mr. John, how you doing, buddy?
Then we'll get to the
that's pretty cool.
Get to the back.
That's nice looking.
Yeah, that's pretty awesome. My poor Bayhawk over there. I don't know if you can see it or not. As far as the detail to it, it looks like it's got about a 1/4 inch of dust on it from here.
Probably does. Need to blow it off.
Yeah, well, I just need to fly the daggone thing.
Exactly my point.
And but yeah, I mean it's a bad mamma jamma.
Deuces Wild said somebody needs to put Dolph Lundgren in their Draco.
He's put what? Who?
Dolph Lundgren as a pilot figure.
Oh, I'm like, wait, what? I didn't hear you at first. So I got the electrical tape back there, so it doesn't want to roll off with me. But
let's see.
Craig, I'm happy.
Hang on, Craig. Let me go back and check. Let's see. Craig had a question. Let me see if I can find it.
You got questions? I got answers.
Yes, it's a great copy of Full Scale. Wondering if it could be used as a glider tug. Craig was wondering if this plane might be used as a glider tug.
I mean, it's got the power. I would use the Carbon Cub because it's already got the hardware for it to do that.
Right.
And it's already kind of designed for it. But this, with this power, I don't see why you couldn't. But I'm not doing it. To me, I look at it in the thing of like, this is a $600 plane. I really don't want to be doing that unless I can just, if I immediately have to let it go, I can let it go as far as the glider. That way I don't lose control of it.
Now the antenna and the wing arms that come down on the end of the wings, is all that stuff metal on the plane?
Yeah, it's metal. And so what I did too, is I think Rich may have done this. Is just grab some needle nose pliers, grab it here and just spread it out. Because you can see how tough it was just for me to get that out. You have to sit there and wiggle it a good bit. But these work. I mean, these work awesome.
Yeah, I could see where they'd come in handy.
I kind of want to put some on my F-16 because you know how those F-16s they want to tip over pretty damn.
Yes, that would be cool.
Um,
Yeah, they do. They want to dance going down the runway.
But as far as packaging goes, I mean it's awesome.
Now, how about the wing flaps? Are they fixed or do they operate? Do they work with the flaps or anything like that?
The slats are glued on. Do they work? Yes. Can you move them? No. What I was going to do here is show. I'm sure they've already done this before. Some people. Just turn you guys around so I can see you. So this is how your tail wheel comes assembled. And what I was saying is, put this screw in first, take this screw out, fix it to your fuse, and that way it allows it to drop down. And so then you could put your springs in and hook them up to the tail horn or the horn that's on the actual fuse. Then bolt this up.
Show them the screw on the tail wheel, Dustin, if you can, a close-up that they need to tighten possibly before they ever maybe putting any kind of Loctite on that screw for the tail wheel before you ever install it would make a difference?
No, because if you happen to get onto the plastic, it will make it brittle. So I'm just going to take, okay. I'm curious now. I'm going to take the screw off just to see what we got under here. Okay, yeah. It's a good thing. Yeah, so that's just basically like a self-tapping. You know what? Let me turn a light on over here. Maybe that helps. Maybe not. So that's just a plastic in your screw itself. It's just one of those self-tapping.
Yeah, Bobby, I thought he bought one for me, but he said no.
What now?
And Bobby said, Dustin's got 2 Dracos. I said, yeah, I thought he bought one for me, but no. So is that screw have a bolt or a nut, anything that on top of it for the tail wheel?
No, it just wrong way. The screw just goes into plastic. It's just a plastic style screw. It's threaded for plastic. It's almost like a wood screw. You could.
Okay, yeah. So self-tapping probably.
Yeah.
I wonder if that's something that
so you can't bear down on it too much.
Right. What's up, Ray? How you doing, buddy?
And then these are the hard pieces that go underneath the elevator. And then your 2 springs there.
Another thing that Jason Merkel was saying today was not to pick this plane up or try to carry it by the elevator.
How would you do that? He
doesn't recommend that at all.
People carry their planes by the elevator?
That could be bad. Huh?
People carry their planes by the elevator?
Well, I don't know. They might pick it up by the elevator, like by the wing in the elevator, and he was saying that's not highly recommended to do that.
Okay, yeah, I've seen people grab their plane and like pull it behind them. But
yeah. He was saying to pick it up from the actual fuselage itself rather than the elevator.
They're like underneath the wing. And then what's cool, as far as your CG point goes, I believe Chris went over this, but people that haven't seen Chris's video, you've got this hard point right here. Just put your finger right here, and that's your CG point, and you can go a little bit just in front of this screw hole right here. So you can go a little bit aft or forward there, and you can see where this one was a kind of a pain in the butt to get out. Put the pliers to it, but it's all right. Can't see it when you're flying.
True that.
And the other one's is just underneath the other one's right there. Just chilling.
So, and you're flying this with AS3X, right?
Yeah. I don't know how you would get away from that there. Unless you went and reprogrammed the receiver itself.
Well, they're also going to sell this plane in a plug and play too, aren't they?
I believe so. I believe so. The only thing you got to be kind of careful for is the ends are foam. But the ends themselves, they're really thick and they got a good shape to them as far as like to fit your hand. So you can push the wing onto the fuse.
Yeah.
I've done some dives and pulled them out, just kind of testing out those connections. This is the first plane I've got that has those type of connections. Because like the FMS P-47, that guy, I undid the connections because it's got the bullets. Undid it so they float. You plug them in and they just float. Because you can have issues if you're coming like out of a high G dive.
I think if I had one of these, if I were to get one ever, I think I would like to put the inflatable bush wheels on it. I think that would look better than the foam wheels, you know?
Yeah, they add about a pound. But they make the landings softer.
Yeah.
I had heard, and I don't believe this, but I had heard that the wheels are from a timber.
Okay.
But I don't, man, like. Maybe? Just kind of looking here. Maybe? But like compared to the Carbon S Cub, the wingspans are the same, of course, because they're 2 meters. But this plane is a lot slimmer. The wings are not as thick. Because like Cub, man, the core of that wing is just super thick.
Right.
George, you glue them on. You glue the slats on. Because matter of fact, I think I've seen it.
Yeah, that was my question, George. I mean, would this be something that somebody could modify so that the slats would eventually work? Because there are some planes that the slats and the flaps work together, which would be really cool. So in case somebody did not want to glue them per se, could they be hinged in a fashion that they could work at some point? I think that would be pretty cool myself, but that's just me. You know, if there were a way to do it. Yeah, that's what I was thinking, George. I think it'd be a cool mod to make those slats work. I think it'd be really cool.
Does his slats work? Or does
and it can't be but so hard.
I got a piece of dirt in the hinge of the elevator. There we go.
Yeah, Jermaine, the slats come separate as far as in the box. You have to glue them on, and a couple of people have used like spacers all the way down because some of them are bent out of the box. So when you put them in, you need to do one glue joint at the time. And they were recommending using foam safe CA. Be careful with kicker though, guys. Some kickers will take the paint off of an airplane in a heartbeat.
Yeah. Well.
So you might want to be careful with kicker. Um, but
So this
yeah,
guy.
yeah.
Go ahead.
I was just saying some of the slats are kind of bent slightly out of the box, so as you glue them down,
Yeah.
they're going to straighten out. You know, you
Yeah.
just need to make sure you got it spaced away from the wing properly.
Yeah, like anything, you pre-fit it before you glue it. This piece that's out of the box is good to have because the the actual fuse can sit in it, so you can literally just cut that piece in half if you need to. Like you're in the back working on the tail or what have you. This is something nice to have. Keep that off there.
Yeah, I save a lot of my foam, man, for setting planes in and stuff. You never know, you know. I mean, it does work out really good when you got it.
Mm-hmm. Oh, what happened to McNeil? Pulled the shoulder last night during the show. Oh, you must have ripped something, dude. Ouch.
Hit Mr. Lyndon Stewart up with a blue wrench there, man.
1 second, because I agree not late.
Yeah, George, I love my T-45, man. It's hanging right here. It's one of my favorite scale jets. I was watching LJ Hobby Life. He made his in a video, yesterday, day before. He did a good job with it. I fly mine off 8S primarily due to grass. But she rocks off that grass with that 8S setup. And it's an incredible flying airplane as well. I love my T-45, man. I hadn't seen LJ in here tonight.
Did you get... I know you got another T-28, but did you sell it too?
No, my T-28 is actually in my trailer, man. I flew it and did the maiden on it, and I haven't been able to fly since. We were at the beach all weekend this weekend. That one will not be sold. That one will be kept. And I will also, with that plane, I'm going to upgrade the ESC to 100 amp ESC due to putting the 3-blade prop on it. Because the one that I sold, I had an 80 amp ESC in it. And it flew much better than the 70 amp because actually this is what came in it right here, which is an E-flite 70 amp ESC, and I put an 80 amp, and it was really good. So I'm gonna go ahead and go with a 100 amp in the new one I've got, especially with that 3-blade prop. It'll make a lot of difference. But yeah, no, that plane won't be sold, man. That's an incredible flying airplane. I love it.
Right on.
And it flies great with the size of the wing and everything. It presents well in the air, you know.
I know about that. Yeah, and did Mike Deuces? Yes. First time I've been smitten in a bit. Actually, this is the first new plane I've bought since the Mirage. But I still got to fix. It needs a landing gear. I need to buy all that before
Paul, I hate that.
Before prices go up.
Yeah, everything's going up, man. Food, gas, you name it, everything's going up. Damn. Dang. Just when it was fun.
He might part with that T-28, but not realize it until he got home.
Do what now?
I was saying Mike said that you won't be parting with that T-28. I was like, he might, but he just won't realize it until he gets home.
Well, the thing is, man, I mean, you know, the day I sold the first one I had no idea that they were being discontinued that quickly. I thought I could go right back and buy another one. Then I found out that they'd been discontinued. I'm like, wait a minute. I hated that, man. But luckily, I was able to find another one from one of Bobby's friends in Raleigh area, and he had two of them, and one was still in the box. So yeah, I was thrilled to get it. And hats off to Bobby for helping me find that one.
What? You have to order
Man,
a new.
really,
Yeah,
Mike? Those landing gears on the flight line went out. Man,
dude.
that's bad. Did you have a hard landing or what?
So I never told that story, but my
So,
you can't see it, but I got the birdcage Corsair.
yeah,
Mine went
yeah.
down due to the fact that the pins for the ESC that go to the receiver were plugged in upside down, so it never latched inside the servo connector, the little black connector. And after about 5 or so flights, I was doing a barrel roll into a bank turn, and like at the top of the roll, like it just died. And then the motor, what the odd thing was, the motor went at full power, but it had no control and it nosed out into the ground. Anyway, our boys over at Motion, oh God, what's his name? I think he's the British guy, Martin. Oh hell, we went back and forth for like I know about 3 or 4 days over it, trying to give me a lesson on what a stall is, this and that. It's just other bullshit. Anyhow, I got it, and I haven't even flew the damn thing. I bought another one, and I haven't even flew it.
And, well, I did land on mine hard. It was my fault, and it collapsed, and that's the only problem I've ever had with mine. So I went in and replaced that one landing gear, which I'll tell you, it's a job to do. You got to take a lot of crap out of there to replace that gear, especially
Damn, Mike.
the servo, which is the problem. But I did it, and I haven't had any more problems with it, thankfully. It flies great. I love my Corsair. But yeah, that's frustrating, Mike. I hate that for you, man.
Yeah, dude,
So yeah,
that just sucks. And out of all my planes, I don't know when. Well, you got the video up as far as when I flew the Mirage, but I gotta get
yeah.
gear for the L-39 too. And out of all my jets, that's the one that doesn't need it. Somehow I goofed that up pretty good.
Well, hey, shit happens, man. I mean,
Mm-hmm.
you never know, man. You can land one just wrong, and it'll mess something up. What's up, Ruff? How you doing, buddy? Good to see you, man.
What's up, dude?
Yeah, I mean, like I said, deuces. That sucks, man. I hate it. So, what's up, Boozer?
I Love Harry Potter
I love
is
Harry
tonight about
Potter.
Harry Potter.
Damn, the hell is that about? He's tripping.
I never watched Harry Potter.
I
It's like
watched some of them because of my kid.
it's like my wife. She's never. We're kind of going back and forth on Facebook today, just being smart asses to each other. And I posted a meme about Yoda. I was like, "This is Yoda," even though you've never seen Star Wars.
Damn. Oh, it's like Baby Yoda.
Mm-hmm. Oh yeah, she knows who that is, but she don't know who Yoda was or how he fit into the movie.
Damn. So the slats on the plane.
There you go. Sweet.
What do you think, Dustin? You think that's something that could be eventually workable?
Sure. Um,
If there
yeah.
was a certain arm on the servo for the flaps that kind of went in both directions, like a servo like the tail wheel, and it were on there, and when the flaps went down, the slats would go forward. That would be kind of cool if it could be done. Be kind of neat.
Oh,
Oh,
Draco's
he
the bad
said
guy in Harry
Draco is the
Potter.
bad guy in Harry Potter. I got you now.
Is that the dude that doesn't have a nose?
Something
No, the no nose evil guy. Yeah, I mean, I could see
makes
you if if you put a hinge together that's kind of shaped like an A-frame, and then that would allow you to
That's going to be
like pivot out.
that's going to be a cool mod. That's going to be a cool mod on that plane if somebody does it, man. You know.
You know what else is going to be a cool
Somebody's
mod?
going.
Flying this thing at night.
Yes. Yeah.
What's up, Roland?
That will be cool.
Anything can be done for the right amount of money. I mean, look at what Mike Patey did in 5 months. He built Draco.
Oh hell yeah!
And
He's
it's like
building another plane now.
yeah, Scrappy, and everybody and their mother is like, when are you going to build the wings? When are you going to build the wings? And that's the part he's been kind of tossing up about as far as the airfoil design of it. But I'm more curious to see Draco 2, what he's going to do with that.
I like the decals and stuff on that plane. I think they look good.
Mm-hmm. Especially on the wings.
Yeah, cowboy stuff.
Mm-hmm.
You know, that's the name of our club is North Carolina Space Cowboys.
Yeah, now you got to get one to represent.
I'm sure somebody will get one. It probably won't be me. So
oh yeah, Deuces, absolutely.
Give me one first. Yeah. Like I said, I got too much other stuff I got to worry about right now, man. I want to fly this SU. I'm excited about flying this plane, man. It ought to be really good. Looking forward to it. Them front gear on it looks incredible. One of the easiest planes I've ever put together. I mean, ever. Nothing to it.
Who makes the 1600 millimeter? Okay. Okay. Right on, George.
Papa, I would love to, man, but I can't make it. I wish I could. I got work, and it's the time of year, man, where I'm trying to get out on my boat and stuff like that. And like I said, it's just hard for me trying to get away right now. But yeah, we've talked about it and told people about it, and talked about it on the show here. So I hope a lot of guys can go and have a good time.
Mm-hmm.
I'm hearing right now that they're going to do NAL in the fall.
Do they change it?
So if that's what I've heard, that they're going to have it right now. So we all know that can change. But if they do, I'm going to be there. Come hell or high water.
Are you talking about you going to be there? We going to be there, punk?
Well, that's what I'm saying, man. I definitely want to go.
You can't drink and drive, but damn, I'll be drinking and flying. Registration opens summer 2021, baby. Yeah, boy.
Yeah, that's right. And again, guys, I say it every week because I try to help my buddy out. He's got good stuff. Check out zoomrc.net for your RC needs, from buggies, trucks, planes. He's got servo extensions, high quality servo extensions and leads. All kind of bling for your radio. Matter of fact, I've got mine. I don't know if you guys can see this or not, but I've got the blue around my switches, and I got his orange anodized aluminum sticks on my radio. So yeah, check him out, zoomrc.net, and use code JCRC10 for a 10% off of your total order. He's a great guy, and from Texas, his shipping is like 3 days to North Carolina. Super nice.
Should do a thing like after hours when the crowd's left. You know, like dads they'll get together. It's like you take a drink and you have to go and spin around the baseball, then like the baseball bat, then hit the t-ball, right?
Yeah.
But incorporates that where you have to take a drink and then fly one circuit and land and go do something and take another shot.
Yeah.
But like I said, you have to do that at night. That'd be that'd be like one of those Girls Gone Wild videos, but it's like Guys going wild at Joe fall not in the fall. Yeah,
Yeah, no
I haven't ate
shit.
yet.
Well, we're gonna have a fly-in at our field in October. We just got to get the date locked in. So any of you guys out there in TV land, radio land,
It needs
within the
to
sound of our voices, got to have you come, man. You got to come down and fly with us.
the falling in all is like the first week, and yeah, October 2nd through the 9th.
Yeah.
But I would love to go. I'm in the process now of working out the software for a new machine. I got a new machine. I got a new CNC machine coming, but it's on hold until um, technically it's called the post processor until that gets fully wrote and proven out. But and then I'm gonna be down for 2 weeks. So when that machine hits, I'm basically backlogged for at least 3 weeks,
Yeah.
and that's just going to snowstorm from there. It's going to suck, but in the end, it's very worth it. There's also
Yeah.
a fly-in in Sanford, Jared. I don't know if you mean that for Lenore. What's up, Tim? Because Adam, one of the main members there, he texted me a while ago, telling me about it.
Okay. Yeah. Sanford's not too far away either. Kinston Aero Modelers just had a really nice one a couple weekends ago. Wish it could have been at that one. That was big. Had a good time. Hey Raymond, thanks, buddy. I appreciate it, man. I still hadn't decided on that one. I'm looking at it a lot. It's a nice plane. Super nice. So yeah, thank you
What's up,
very much.
David?
I'll keep that in mind.
Everything's going good, man. Hope you are too. But that reminds me, I was going to call Hanger 18 and call Tim at Raleigh Hobby to see if they had those Gerbos, 5.5 inch. I'd be interested to see how those go.
Yeah.
Every time I see DMG, I think of DMG Mori, which is it's a brand of CNC machine or CNC equipment.
TMG.
Mm-hmm. But yeah, I mean, is that as far as questions or anything goes, as far as Draco goes?
Like I said, man, it's a sweet plane. Is there anything that you're going to do to it to modify anything so far that you know of?
No, just I'm going to modify, just put wear and tear on it because I'm going to fly the absolute shit out of
Sure.
it.
George, I would think Fall Now, if it all goes through, will be a epic event this year because of not having one for a while.
Yeah.
I think it was awesome.
Okay.
Probably be a lot of vendors there too.
Yeah, and since it's on Saturday, I can't get out of it because my wife and I have got our baby shower this weekend.
Isn't Seth going on right now too?
Yep. Yep.
Yeah, that's a big event as well.
What's up, Dave?
Did you ever find your nut? Even a blind squirrel finds a nut every now and then, you know?
It was funny because I had fell asleep when I woke up. I was getting on YouTube just to look at it, and he had just got off, and I was sitting there watching it, and he's like, "Yeah, like it's 7.9." I was like, "Yes." I was texting him. I was like, "Yeah, that's an 8 millimeter." And he's like, "Well, like it doesn't fit." I'm like, "Well, you got 5 threaded quartz thread." You know, as he's doing everything on screen, I kind of sat there and forgot that it ain't live no more. But he found one.
Hey, if not, you take one off another plane. You know, if it works.
Yeah, that's what he ended up doing. He had an old motor, and he took the nut off, and it fit.
Yep.
There
you go.
But like the prop, for example, the prop's back ordered until May. Like May's in like what 4 days? Days.
Yeah. Yeah.
Um. Oh, nice. Brian Stewart min waxed his Draco. I don't have the patience to do that. Just just being completely honest.
So how did Dave exactly lose his prop nut? I mean,
I think he just dropped it because he's got tile floors. It's wants to bounce,
yeah.
and it just bounced into oblivion.
Damn, to avoid the abyss. The dog might have ate it. The cat knocked it around. I'm thinking, damn. He said that bitch is gone. Now you'll step on it in the middle of the night, man, when you're walking through the damn house. That'll be a problem sticking your damn foot.
Yeah, it'd be like a damn Lego.
Exactly, that's what I'm saying, man. You stepped on it. The cat will find it and bat it out somewhere into the floor, and you'll step on it walking through the house when you least expect it.
I will say though that there's a spinner.
Hey, let me tell you something. I was working on something on my boat the other day down in the floor of it, a small opening that I had to take a hatch off to get to a bolt. And I had my ratchet down in there, and the damn thing fell all the way to the floor of the boat, man. And I'm going, damn, how am I going to get to that? I have a magnet. Let me tell you something. I put a string on that magnet, fed it down through that hole. I heard it go chink. I was like, oh, there it is. So I was magnet fishing in the bottom of the boat. But there wouldn't have been any other way to get it, So yeah, a magnet on hand is always nice.
What I learned by working on my dad's boat, he added those plane adjusters, the hydraulic ones. You know what I'm talking about? Like where if you have weight on one side, you can hit it and it'll turn the boat so it planes out. Basically, it's like adjusting your ailerons for like level flight.
Yeah.
But I gotta say, like this carbon rod is pretty damn like the texture on it. It's not smooth. It's like it's overlapped, wrapped. That's what we used to call it at State.
Yeah, we know magnets don't work on aluminum. I'm talking about what I was doing in the boat on a ratchet. The whole damn thing fell down in the bottom of the boat, so it worked on that. But yeah, you're screwed with aluminum, man.
I have a friend that used to work on. He was a diesel mechanic, and even though the trucks are huge, some areas are really, really tight. And what he would do is, if he had like a soft-handled ratchet, he would drill the bottom of it, or take off the handle and put a magnet inside of it. So if he ever dropped it, he can get like the little claw guy, or do what you did, a magnet on a string.
Yeah. Yeah. Yeah, that carbon tube is pretty stout. It comes with that plane.
Is it aluminum? I'm curious now. Oh, you know
So
what?
now that Draco's out, what's everybody's next plane? What's everybody thinking? What's on the purchase list? What are you waiting for? What's on your horizon, so to speak?
What's on my eyes is a nice size B-17.
Yeah, that'd be cool. Thanks, Joe. Appreciate you coming by. Drive safe, man. No, Jared. I mean, I appreciate the plane. It's a beautiful airplane. I love everything about it. The scale, the look. It's just not my thing, man. I've got several, high wing planes, and granted, I know it's not the same totally as a high wing plane, but um, yeah, it just didn't really. I don't know. Didn't strike me. I appreciate. I'd like to see it in person. I think it would be beautiful to watch fly, but for the price point, I've got other things I'd rather buy. That's just my opinion. So
Well, it's not doing a damn thing somewhere.
yeah, I think we all need bigger hangars, man. um, I'd like to see again. I say it every time, but I'd like to see a big zero. About a 2,000 millimeter zero from Motion or something like that. I think it would be great.
Hey,
Especially, yeah.
hey, you want to see it? You want to see a zero? Is that what
Where are
you
we
said?
going?
You want a zero?
I said I'd like to see Motion come out with a big zero.
Zero.
Like
Ah!
yeah, a 2,000 millimeter to go with the Spitfire and the Corsair. I think that'd be really cool.
Did you hear me, son?
What?
I said if you want to see a zero, go look in the mirror.
Yeah, yeah. um, yeah, it's time for them to come out with something anyway. It's time for it, man. Either that or a BF 109, something like that would be cool. Big, nice, foamy. Tell you what, man, have you seen the P-47s and stuff like Gator RC has in the composites? Have you seen those, Dustin?
Say it again, bud.
I said, have you seen the big P-47 composites that Gator RC has?
Oh yeah.
Yeah, you're only looking at 4,500 complete, man. That ain't bad. Come on now.
Yeah. Yeah. Right.
But I mean, for the quality of that airplane, composite. I mean, come on now. That airplane though, you get a composite plane, man. It's screaming for a gas motor. And the one at Gator RC that I looked at, with everything, was about 4,300 and some odd change with a gas motor.
When are we
Um,
when are you gonna? Ooh.
and I've still got to get my P-47 up in the air anyway.
I'm saying, when are you
Yeah.
gonna take off on a Monday or on a weekday other than Monday, and let's go to Anderson?
Anderson, what's that?
Anderson, homie, Anderson. The RC place, like an hour and a half, 2 hours away.
Oh, well, hell, I mean, whenever, man. Hell yeah. Yeah. Yeah, that's what I'm saying, Dave. Motion's got to be coming with something hard, man. It's time. And I'm thinking it's going to be a prop plane. They need this not time they do a big. They've come out with two jets lately. But yeah, yeah, Dennis, I'm with you, man. I mean, I see these guys with these jets. My friend that has several BVMs, and I mean that isn't comprehensible for me either. Not to mention, I don't think I could enjoy it because I'd be so worried about tearing it up, or a mishap or crashing it. I couldn't even enjoy it. Now, again, if I were to have a $4,500 prop plane, I'd probably feel better about that than a jet, because I don't know. I just think it'd be easier to fly. But secondly, I probably wouldn't have all the other planes I have. I'd have like one or two nice planes, and that would be it. Again, there's something to be said for that because you got two really outstanding planes. But after a while, I know me, I think I'd get bored with that, and I'd really like to have all the other more less expensive planes, if you follow what I'm saying. Um, so um,
I wonder
yeah.
what if Verizon Hobbs is going to be coming out with any more UMXs or bombers. Man, I wish.
I wouldn't
Oh,
doubt it, man. I wouldn't doubt it. I mean, they seem to be doing pretty well with them. I wouldn't mind having that new A10 just to play around with. Sure.
oh, the 64
George, I
millimeter.
can't stand both, buddy. I got other things I like to do. I like to fish. I got a nice boat. Fishing equipment is expensive. I got expensive hobbies, man. And I got a child too that's 14 and a half, getting ready to start driving before long. So it's just like one thing after the next. So yeah, and I'm sure you guys all know how that works out too. So I'm happy to have what I have. um, I don't know what he's doing there, Dave.
Are you supposed to be on the back?
Oh, it was my cousin sent me a video of his 3D printer. He was like, "Look at my new toy." Then he started asking me questions. What's an STL file? What's a slicer?
What's up, Brendan? How you doing, man? Good to see you, buddy.
Come on, man. Yes, it's a crime that
Talking
yours
about
was still in the box for so long.
In case you hadn't heard, there's a new plane out. It's called a Draco. Just talking about it. I think that's what it's called. I mean, I'm not sure. Got some good fishing and eating there, Dennis. I'm gonna go ahead and tell you, man.
Oh, crappy. Yep. Crappy and brim.
Crappie.
Crappy. Yeah, I would say the same thing, Dave. Especially after the A10 and the nose with it. Like it would crack and bust just in your hand if you just looked at it wrong, it felt like. Apparently Draco is the guy that's in Harry Potter.
Yeah.
Apparently.
I can't wait to see Brendan fly that new Zero, man, that he's been working on, man. That's a sweet airplane. The setup is beautiful. The covering on it's beautiful. You've done a fantastic job. I've been following your series on that plane, man, and that's a beautiful airplane, man.
That one's from Gator too, correct?
Yes, it is, and it is absolutely gorgeous.
Yeah, he's done a killer job on it.
Gorgeous. Yeah, no doubt. How far away are you, Brendan, from maiden it?
You know what else is pretty impressive, Dave? Those that don't lose their nut.
Well, that varies. I mean, So yeah, so Brendan, how far away are you from maiden in this plane, man? Because I can't wait to see this one fly. It ought to sound good too.
Yeah, what's all's? Well, I guess what's left there to do? He's got the motor in.
I'm not exactly. Yeah,
that's the last. That's the last
sure.
video I saw. I think I have to go back and look.
I was saying, Brendan, how far away from a maiden are you? What else have you got to do to your zero before you're ready to fly it? Weathering and the cockpit. Okay, I got you. So you're really upping that pucker factor.
Mm-hmm.
That's the way it is, man. The more you do to these planes, the more it takes the rush and the pucker factor to a different level. It's like any plane I've detailed and painted, rather than flying right out of the box. Nobody wants to crash an airplane right out of the box, man. I mean, it doesn't matter what it is. But when you take one and you redo it and you repaint it, especially like Arctic Camo F-16 or the PT-17, anything you totally redo. My Corsair, Spitfire, it takes the pucker factor, man, and it drives it to a different level. And you know, you're always worried about what if, which I mean, you're worried about what if all the time,
Right.
but it just intensifies it. You know, it's like Dave Marshall with that F-18 Splinter that he painted. And that's one you don't want to mess up either. I get it, man. It's just like my F-16 right here. I get that too. Um, so yeah,
Boxstrap. Yeah, because the Zero's got is the electric one that's got the like gear reduction system in it, right? Or is that the low wing plane, the other one, the great green one? Because at first when I saw it, I'm like, man, that thing's got a starter, but actually it's the motor that then just drives the bigger gear for the prop, I believe.
yeah, that's pretty cool with that automatic start, man. Yeah, no doubt, man. It's gonna definitely pinch your ass together flying that. There's no doubt about it.
Yeah, because I can't remember if that was a motor setup on the Zero or the other. I don't know. I can't remember the name of it. But it's a low wing. It's green. I remember seeing that
He
guy.
said the zero is he said it's a reduction gear electric start. Damn, that's nice. Yeah, that's
Okay.
killer, man. And then he's done all of his wiring and all of his hoses and line. I mean, it's
That's it.
it's
Craft.
it's great, man. And watching that plane be done from the beginning is just super nice.
So the Zero is
Yeah, it's got heavy.
is gas powered then, right? It's been a hot minute. Or it's fuel.
The car has a gear reduction belt drive electric system.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. So that belt is like a cog belt that you see like for superchargers and stuff, or a timing belt.
Sure, Roland. I'll paint it up for you, man. Hey, $20 is $20.
Dirty deeds done dirt cheap.
Telling you, man. Oh man. I tell anybody, man. I had somebody else asking me about
Right
painting an
on.
airplane. I
Sweet.
tell anybody, try it yourself. I mean, because it's so rewarding. Um, and the beauty of it is, man. Yeah, come on now. It's foam. You can paint it over it if you don't like it.
Dude,
It's just
my first plane I painted was that B-17.
yeah.
Because General Hobbies, what was that guy's name? Richard. I was like, this is the green and gray one, right? He goes, yes, and it was a Memphis Belle. I painted that son of a gun, and I know I spent 3 weeks painting it. And I was like, I'll never do this crap again. It took me 3 hours just to lay the lines down, just so I could paint the gray. Now afterwards, it looked so awesome that I never flew it because I didn't want to get it messed up.
And that's what
I
I'm
need to
saying,
fly
man. It
it.
takes that pucker factor to a different level. It really does.
Yeah, I don't think I
You
ever
know.
showed that.
Yeah, it
I can't.
really does. It takes it to a different game, man, and you don't want to mess that thing up for nothing. That's like my F-16 right here, as you can see. Um, that plane had a lot of work that went into it with a total. I mean, it was the gray scheme from Motion RC out of the box, and it was totally redone. And yeah, Arctic camo, and it turned out beautifully. So yeah, come on now, stick people are hard. um, that's the thing. It's like the AL-37 sitting here. I want to do the Stormtrooper theme on it. So rather than buying decals for it, I sat down and I drew the whole entire rear of the plane freehand to look like Stormtrooper, and it turned out phenomenal. So I now just got, if I'm gonna do it, I got to airbrush it,
Oh
and a little
shit,
different ball game. But if you can draw something, typically you can airbrush it.
man! A damn bird got in here and shit on my B-17.
Hey, better than a rat chewing it up.
Well, at least I hope the rat died. Man, that's BS.
Damn.
You
No, that's bird shit.
can kind of see it, maybe. Whatever, you can't see it. That kind of burns my britches, but no, like, I painted this mug. Yeah, I'm proud of it. Yeah, like, I got overspray, but, I mean, let's just say they don't make them like I had to paint this, the weather strip, whatever it was. Callie did the graphics. Um, yeah. Yeah, I just have to see if I can fix that now. It's harder.
Oh, ain't a little shard ain't gonna hurt anything.
Man.
Yeah.
Uh, yes. Crisis averted. All right, boys, let's go home.
What are you doing, man?
I gotta put my B-17 back up, homie.
Okay, so Roland, get you a piece of cardboard, hang it in front of you somewhere. Support your elbows to your body like this. I'm left-handed, so put your elbows into your body, hold your other forearm with this hand, or if you're right-handed, such as. And when you paint with an airbrush, move your body. Don't move so much your hand as you move your body. And if you want a fine line, you've got to be able to adjust the. I have a dual action air gun. Mine's in the cabinet over here, and mine has two actions. You press down for air, you pull back for paint. So a lot of your cheaper air guns are just one push. I want a dual action. So that being said, get in front of your piece of cardboard, supporting your arm with and your arms into your body. Stand in front of the cardboard, aim the airbrush. Now, the closer you are to the cardboard with the airbrush, you're going to get a smaller dot. The further away you get with it, you're going to get a bigger dot. Think about spray painting with a can. If you're close up on something, you're going to get a small dot, but you're also more likely to run. The further away you are, the bigger dot you're going to get, the less likely you are to run. So this is one of those things, when you start painting a line with an airbrush, you press, and with mine, you pull back to allow paint to come out, and you start moving, and you move your entire body. And it's just all a learning curve, man. But I mean, there's a lot of videos on YouTube that show you these professional guys that airbrush some beautiful stuff. And if you will listen to them, they do know what they're talking about. And it does. I've taught myself. I used to airbrush motorcycle gas tanks, helmets, T-shirts, jackets. I used to do a lot of that stuff. So, painting airplanes isn't really that big of a deal, but it's all the same. If you can visually draw something with a pencil standing at a board like this, you can draw it with an airbrush. You just got to get your distance from the media and your movement's fluid. And that's the biggest thing. And once you do that and you learn how to feather off of that airbrush, when you get ready to come to an end, you let off of it, you go back onto it, you're going to get nice fluid lines. And the real thin, tiny lines is a totally different ballgame. You got to be really good to do that. That takes practice, but practice is what does it, man. So, you know, get your airbrush, get something hanging in front of you, and just practice doing stuff like that before you try to do anything, man. And, you know, get your air and your paint mixture consistent and learn how to use that air gun. That's the biggest thing I would tell you to do. You know, once you get the feel for it and know how much air to paint ratio to mix with the gun, you're golden, man. And a dual action airbrush will always be a better choice than a single action airbrush. I promise you. You get what you pay for in an airbrush. These Harbor Freight airbrushes and stuff, they might be okay to play around with, but if you really want to get serious in what you do, I use an Iwata dual action. I have a top feed and I also have a bottom feed airbrush. Bottom feed, you have the ability to do bigger containers of paint for doing an all-over repaint. A top feed gives you a little cup on top that allows you to do small amounts of paint. You know, like I said, it's just one of those things where, you know, you really just want to practice, practice, practice. Kenny just sent me a couple of nice looking pictures of some of his stuff. So Kenny, if you're there, are you using your airbrush to do those? Because they look really nice, man. And by the way, how are you tonight? Glad to have you here, man.
Yeah, I liked his video. He put up recently the camera in the trailer as he's going to his field or just driving around.
Yeah, I watched that. That was really cool, man. It was like ride along.
Yeah. He might have been going to go pick up some midget strippers.
Midget strippers, true that. But yeah, a lot of times, you know, guys, if you go to Hobby Lobby, they sell like Iwata. You're gonna pay a lot more for a nice airbrush than you are at you know, other places. But you do get what you pay for. Also, you can buy different needles for your airbrushes that give you more or less paint flow for finer work. If you want really fine lines and details, you've got to have a certain needle to do that. If you want bigger burst of paint, like for doing an all-over repaint, you need a different needle for that as well and a different tip. So with a nicer airbrush, you can change all these things. With a cheap airbrush, you're not going to do it. So there is a reason why they sell typically 3 needles. A small, medium, and large will give you what you need, and then a different tip for the different needles, because you got to have a different tip for the different needles. But yeah, definitely, you know, do your research on those. Watch some videos if you're not sure, and practice. You know. Yeah, Kenny said he's got dual action as well. That's right, man. Really, it's the only way to go. And get you a small compressor. Also, get you a water catch on your airbrush because you're going to get moisture in the line. If you use an airbrush for a good amount of time, you're going to get moisture from the compressor to your airbrush. Water in your paint will splatter and it will munk up a good paint job. So get a water catch that goes on the bottom of your airbrush from your line, and you can clear that line by pressing a valve, and it'll spit that water out of your airbrush before it goes into your airbrush. That's critical. You definitely want one of those. Hobby Lobby also sells those. They're like $15. And they're clear, so you see water build up in them, and then you just clear the line. But yeah, that's another must-have for a good airbrush, because you start spitting water through your paint, you're going to get pissed. It's going to splatter. It's not going to work well, and you're going to be done with it. So, you know.
Yeah, that's one of the reasons why I had to paint that green twice, is because I diluted the green paint a little bit too much, and it turned to be like your grandma's from the 70s doo-doo brown couch. Instead of green, it was literally like doo-doo brown. And I was like, oh my God. So I went to the Home Depot, drove another 45 minutes each way to Home Depot got more paint from a different. Found this guy on one of the forums, RC forums. Is like, hey, do you happen to have the paint code? And he sent me the paint code. And went and got it. And before I shot that paint, I shot the one that I had diluted too much. Cause still had a little bit left. And added more color to it, and it greened right up.
Yeah.
So
Well, a lot of times paints are deceiving. Paints can look a lot darker when they're coming out of something, and they lighten up as they dry, or vice versa. So that's why you're better off to do a practice spot on something like a paper plate, something that's going to give you an idea of what that paint looks like, and then hit it with a blow dryer or heat gun and dry it, and look what it looks like.
Right.
So, see you, Jared. Appreciate you coming by, man.
Speaking of which, you about ready? It's about 10 o'clock. I'm gonna have to.
Yeah, man. Yeah. I'm ready to sit in the chair for a little while, man. I hadn't stopped all day, like I said. I know you're ready to get to the house too. So
I'm ready to eat. Is what I'm ready to get.
Yeah, I wanted to have Dustin talk about his Draco tonight, guys. And I knew he had to do this at the shop, so I'm glad we could work this out. So yeah. So yeah, I'm good when you are, man.
Awesome, guys. Well, hey, I appreciate everybody tuning in. I'm glad the internet stayed good. Hope you guys all enjoy this. And if you like this here, we'll have to do this more. Luckily, this is going to be cleaned up here within the week because we got the family for the baby shower. So I was supposed to be over here tonight, not flying, but cleaning. And I was unsupervised, so you can't expect too much.
That's right. That's right.
But we'll see you guys.
All right,
y'all
man.
have a good one. Thanks for tuning in. And be safe, be good. And we'll catch you guys next week on Fight Club.
See you guys. Thank you.
Bye, y'all. Oh, that felt good.